recognize our senior delegates and ambassadors. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
A non-governmental organization, SOS Children's Villages, in partnership with the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, and other development partners, has launched a project supported by the European Union to strengthen childcare and protection systems in Nigeria. The project, launched at the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, aims to ensure that every child in Nigeria is safe, supported, and thrives in a loving environment. It will be implemented in Edo, Borno, and Plateau states. Egosa Erunwese, National Director, SOS Children's Villages, said the project will have a significant impact on the lives of vulnerable children and their families, focusing on improving the quality of education and care for vulnerable children, strengthening legal and policy frameworks, guiding child protection, and building the technical capacity of ministries, departments, and agencies of government on child care professionals and service providers. The project is set to support over 13,500 vulnerable children, provide care and support to 900 caregivers, and build the capacity of at least 240 child care professionals, as he emphasized that the project goal is to reach over 1 million children and their families across the focus states.
These children are not just our future, they are our present. Yet, many face daily threats of abuse, neglect, exploitation, child marriage, trafficking, and unsafe care arrangements. Whilst the Child Rights Act has been domesticated in every state, we continue to see a critical gap between legislation and implementation. This project directly responds to that gap with intention, innovation, and collaboration across all tiers of government and key stakeholders involved in the care and protection of children. Importantly, the participation and active engagement of children and young people. With the generous support of the European Union, this project will be implemented in Edo, Borno, and Plateau states, as well as the national level. It is a comprehensive and a structured response designed to fortify both states' institutions and community-level safety nets.
The head of the EU delegation in Nigeria, Massimo De Luca, and the executive director of CISLAC, Awal Musa Ibrahim, emphasized the importance of collaboration in promoting child welfare, while lamenting on the poor implementation of the act, stressing the...
First, I already said rights are important. The rule of law is very important. It's very important to entrench in this country a culture where rights is not just the result of a gesture, but of a systemic organization of access to rights. And this is an area where we are trying to do our bit in Nigeria, also working more widely with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and poverty alleviation through the establishment of registers for social protection and proper channels of funding for social protection in Nigeria.
The deplorable state of the child protection in Nigeria as children continue to be exposed to different forms of abuses and violation of their rights. In most cases, these abuses and exploitation come mostly from people trusted either by child or parent or guardians. Sadly, even government at the federal and state level have been culprits of the child rights violation in recent times. While it is critically important to ensure the existence of legal and policy measures for the protection of children, the implementation of those provisions is much more important. This has been missing link with child protection in the country. Therefore, to entrench a functional child protection system, effort must be geared towards mobilizing critical stakeholders to review the existing measures and strengthen the implementation mechanism.
Imperative that Nigeria, as a recognized country in a community of nations, must align with the global best practices by putting in place measures to promote and protect fundamental human rights and childcare rights associated with democracy and the rule of law, especially for the vulnerable populations in our society, which invariably tends to be the main thrust of this project. As a legal practitioner, the need to strengthen the legal framework, policies, and systems for enforcement and realization of these rights in concrete terms cannot be overemphasized. To our mind, this is the right path to toe and to ensure.
However, stakeholders noted that despite the existence of the Child Protection Act, its implementation remains poor, leading to the continuous exposure of children to different forms of abuse and violation of their rights, as poor implementation of the Child Protection Act is a major concern. The project marks a significant step towards strengthening childcare and protection systems in Nigeria.